Growing up, 308 was a gifted school, a talented and gifted school, and everyone wanted to go there. I recall having a very personal relationship with all of my teachers.
For Danielle Jones, the public school system that she once loved appears much different to her now as a parent.
A lot of the teachers are obviously there for a paycheck.
Like a lot of parents living in some of New York City's most academically challenged school districts, finding a quality education for her children was a top priority.
I was hearing a lot of good things about, the charter schools were more involved with the children. There was less children in the classrooms. There were more teachers in the classrooms. So I just wanted something more personal, for the girls.
Jones' twin daughters, 8-year-olds Kimora and Khalees, were among the first students to enroll when Teaching Firms of America Charter Prep opened for its first day of class 3 years ago in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Rafiq Kalamuddin practiced corporate law for one of the country's top law firms before deciding to switch from the courtroom to the classroom.
Our clients here are Khalees and Kimora, right? Young people in some of our most challenging neighborhoods. But in order to do our job well, it really requires us to have this kind of close relationship. So the thing that's different about TFOA is that this is a teacher-led school through and through. The idea for this school really started out kind of focused on one core issue. How do we dramatically improve the teaching profession? I know if we did that, for the kids who are the most underserved, who are the most needy kids in those particular communities, education would really be transformed for them.
These kids, I've literally known them longer than my 2-year-old daughter. For my 4-year-old, because I've been with them now for 4 years. So it's a different relationship. We look at it like, I think of myself more like a pediatrician than a teacher. You're kind of growing with this, the children, with the family. That's a very different relationship than transactional. You come in from 1 year, and then I have a new set of kids.
Charter school law permits greater autonomy. School can set their own teacher pay scale and have the ability to create its own curriculum. Parents like Kayla Jones, the father of the twins, see other benefits as well.
My biggest thing is the personal aspect of the way the school works as far as dealing with your children. School is hard. Kids are rough, man. Sometimes school becomes a burden, but they don't allow that to happen with them. They're not gonna let somebody get picked on and they don't address it.
Since the first charter school opened its doors in New York in 1999, the movement has been viewed as a threat to traditional public schools. The rapid expansion of charters continues to deepen the divide among cities' education leaders, teachers, and parents. The publicly funded but privately managed schools were initially started to bridge the achievement gap in low-income communities like Central Brooklyn.
I think charter schools in many cities like New York have specifically targeted those areas where there are few good district options. They're an aspect of public education that seems here to stay. And they're an outgrowth of the fact that public education in and of itself over the last several decades has failed too many children.
Ben, you have I'll give you about 5 to 10 minutes to share around.
As charter school operators like Teaching Firms of America continue to pioneer new strategies for educating struggling students, just a floor below in the same building, a once top-ranked public school has grappled with chronically absent students and lower than state average test scores. Only 21% of PS 308 students met the standards on the English test. Less than 10% met standards in math. Last year at this time, the Jones' 14-year-old daughter, Kayla, walked these same halls as her younger sisters. After making countless calls to teachers to complain about lack of homework, they began to fear that their oldest child was being robbed of her education.
It would be 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks, and there's nothing, no homework. Kimora and Khalees bring home maybe 15 to 20 pages a night of homework. So while it is a little overwhelming, I'm glad that they do get, they do get that much homework, and they're able to do it. They're able to get it done. Whereas Kayla, when Kayla was in the 4th and 5th grade, she may have brought home a sheet of homework, if that. She was always passing, but I wasn't convinced that she was learning anything. It's like she's just getting by.
With KK, she being our first child, and the oldest, we were just more concerned about getting her into school, period. Just so happy about we have a daughter, a baby, she's going to school. We didn't really do the due diligence as far as the school was concerned.
But still, for Kayla, public schools has been a successful experience. Now a freshman at Brooklyn High School for Law and Technology, she hopes to someday practice civil rights law.
She's already talking about taking Regents exams, and with the twins, I'm more than, the charter school has more than reached my expectations.
For the Joneses, the battle of charter and public schools has led them to a split decision, one they're happy with. But in the city at large, the fight goes on. For 219 West, I'm Bianca Flowers.